So a couple of weeks ago, I dropped a spoken word film about dating. You can check that out up here. There will also be a link in the description if you want to check that out before watching this video, because what I want to do in this video is I want to discuss the things that I talked about in that video. Or you could just stay here and watch it after. It doesn't do whatever you want. These days, dating seems to be a hot topic, and I just want to give you my opinion on why I think you shouldn't date, as well as give you an alternative to dating. Now, before you click off this video, just allow me to present my case, give you my opinion, and then if you don't agree with me, then I want you to go to the comments and tell me why so we can have a discussion. I'll reply to every single comment on this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I had a lot to say on this topic, but I tried to group it into 4 different sections so that I wouldn't be talking too much and too long. So let's go through those right now in regards to dating. So a lot of the times when people date people, we date people who we don't really know. And a lot of times we decide who we're going to date based off external things such as looks, the appearance of wealth, maybe even brief interactions with people, someone that a friend recommends. We even date people online. The point is that these could be the worst people that we end up choosing to connect with. But we don't find out until it's too late. Sometimes we even get physically intimate with people before finding out who they really are. Now, I don't know if people have really considered this, but when you're dating people, there are a countless number of purposes people have for dating. Some people date for fun, they date for socializing, they date for a free meal, some people date just for sex. Some people date just to avoid being lonely, just to have some kind of connection with somebody. And then there are some people who date to find the one. They're dating for marriage. All of this depends on the person that you're dating. And of course, you're not going to know these things at the beginning. You're not going to know these things until you kind of start spending time with those people. The issue is that when people engage in the act of dating and they expect 2 different outcomes, you're less likely to see a successful relationship at the end of that, because you have 2 people on 2 different paths, even though they're doing the same thing. Now, I kind of mentioned this within the last part of this video, but when you first date someone, you don't know who they really are. And I actually heard somebody put it like this: when you date somebody, you're not actually dating them, the real person. You're dating their representative. For example, I could be a person who throws on a nice suit, who rents a nice luxurious car, takes somebody out on a nice date at an expensive restaurant and pays for everything. I can even recite beautiful poetry, and the whole time, I'm broke and I can't even read, and the person doesn't know. See, I remembered the poem. That's why I couldn't read it. I had to listen to it. And then, I mean, you could meet the sweetest woman that you have ever met in your life, but you don't even know that if you push the wrong button, she goes into Hulk mode. The point is, a lot of times when you're dating, people are going to try their best to put their best foot forward, and they're not going to show you the real them. So this is one of the disadvantages to dating. You're only dating somebody's representative. And the last case I want to present is when you date a lot of times you leave a lot of these relationships with a lot of trauma, or at least the potential to have trauma that you end up carrying into other relationships or even onto other dates. For example, someone with trust issues, now when they get into the next relationship, they can't seem to trust their partner because of the things that have already happened to them. I remember I was talking to this one young lady, and so we just started talking. And we talked over the phone. We would spend these long hours talking into all kinds of hours of the night. And I remember one day I was super tired, and I think that I had to get up extra early for work. And I simply told her, I was like, hey, look, I know like we usually do this thing where we talk all night on the phone, but I gotta go to bed. And it was like a switch flipped, because immediately she accused me of wanting to hang up with her so I could talk to another woman on the phone. And it was just like, what? She was bringing trauma from a previous situation into a potential current situation. So even though her reaction was caused by that trauma, it also caused me to say, I'm out. I'm not doing this with you. Now, by this time, you might be watching this video and thinking, why are you just trashing on dating? What's the alternative? And I'm not even saying that dating is just completely wrong and that you absolutely shouldn't do it. I just honestly think that there's a better way. And that's what I want to present to you now. The alternative to dating is courting. Courting, simply put, is basically getting to know someone with the purpose of building towards marriage. And a big portion of it is about emotional intimacy, where conversely, dating is, I guess, more geared towards physical intimacy in a lot of cases. So we talked about how to choose someone to date. Well, when it comes to courting, it's a lot more simple. You're basically choosing people that are already in your social networks. See, this is not something that's just done on a whim. You're kind of aligning yourself with people who might have similar mindsets, similar beliefs, people of good character, basically someone who is on the same page as you. And this is someone that you've gotten to know on the basis of friendship. We also talked about how with dating, there are many different purposes and many different end games for a lot of people. But when it comes to courting, there's only one. There's only one purpose, and that purpose is marriage. And the beautiful thing about the courting process is that both people have the same goal in mind. Both people want the same thing. And I would think that you would have a better chance at a successful relationship if both of you guys are working towards the same goal. I mean, think about it. You also have less of a chance of meeting someone's representative. And here's why. There's almost like a pre-courting process, and I think it's all part of courting, but at the beginning, before you actually start the official courting, what you're doing is you're looking at people in your social groups, in your social circles. Matter of fact, this is how my wife and I met. We met as friends. We didn't meet as people who were trying to date each other. We had no romantic interest in each other. We were literally just friends. And because of that, I was able to get to know her going past her representative. So if I would have tried to date her initially, she probably would have dressed up. She would have been extra nice to me and all these different things. But when we first met, she was just regular old Faith. And even now, the marriage that we have, the foundation is built on the fact that we were best friends first and we're best friends now. Getting to know someone platonically is vastly different from getting to know someone on a date. I found out who Faith was on the days she wasn't dressed up, where she only wanted to wear sweatpants when she wasn't in the best moods. So I got to know the real her, not her representative. Lastly, we talked about trauma. Well, with courting, you are less likely to experience trauma. See, trauma happens when you buy into somebody's representative. But if you're friends first and you get to know someone bypassing physical intimacy, you're going to get to know the real them, and you're not going to buy into the trap of their representative. By the way, another part of courtship is not having sex until you're married. I'm not sure if y'all caught that. So I don't want to make this video too long. I could say a lot more. I left a lot off of this video so I could keep it short, or as short as possible. But now I would like to hear from you. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Again, I will respond to everyone because I'm curious to have this conversation with a multitude of people. And also, if you haven't had the chance, please check out my spoken word film on this topic. Put a lot of work into it, so I want y'all to see it. But I am actually recording at 2 in the morning, so now I'm gonna go to sleep. I will see you guys in the next one. It's your boy K Soul. Peace.